No kidding.
40 years ago, we wore the white aprons.
Really?
When we cared for our patients, and we used the doctor bag, which I wish we had, oh, excuse me. The doctor bag that we used to carry around, and our aprons are there, all our supplies were in there, and just about everything we needed, a paper bag. They even taught us how to make little bags out of the newspaper. Never quite accomplished that. Anyway, I've devoted 40 years of my life to the Bisbee Boys. I'm sorry, I'm very sentimental, emotional. Thank you, Patty. And they've been wonderful, wonderful years. I wouldn't be here, though, if it wasn't for Mary Dwyer. Mary was one of my patients at Newport Hospital on the 6th floor. And she said to me, "Lucy, why don't you come and work for me?" I said, "Oh, no, Mary." She said, "Why?" I said, "Well, when I was in school in Boston, we only had a couple of days of that we'd be out in the field to learn the home care program. And I remember walking up a flight of stairs with my flying nun instructor. I had the Daughters of Charity, and in a skinny little narrow staircase, getting whopped with a coronet, got to the top of the stairway, and it was like, wow, I was only 21 years old, all this noise, all this bickering. It wasn't a good day for me. So as a result, I never had an interest in home care. But Mary says, just try it. So I did. I went down and I met with Mary, and I said, I'll go out for 3 days with another nurse, one of the nurses that's been here a bit. And Sue Frazier Monroe took me out for 3 days, and she's the one that really sold me on it. She was just vibrant, loved her job, and loved her patients, and I thought, wow, this is really a neat job. So here I am, almost 41 years later. That's how I initially started. Now, over the years, as you can see, our uniforms have changed. Now the girls wear the blue, white, tan, whatever they so choose. But we had this particular uniform, or even a slight blue uniform. And they did allow us to wear pantsuits, by the way. Let's see. As far as the recording and the documenting of our patients and their treatments, we started off with, just as Nancy had said last year, she gave you a detailed report on where we were and all the accomplishments over the years, right to the present time, the use of the computers. We had only 2 clinics at that time, blood pressure clinics in various districts, and we had a well baby clinic. Dr. Corellis was the physician that ran our well baby clinics, and those were held in Newport. Some of the field nurses that I worked with here in Newport, down at Chapel Street, we each had our own desks, and we sat in little areas. The different districts sat with their district nurses. I happened to be a Portsmouth nurse, so I was with Middletown, Portsmouth, Tiverton, and the Newport had their own area. This was at Chapel Street, as I said. And then during that time, we did all the care. And Nancy said this last year. We were CNAs, we were hospice nurses, we did all the treatments, we did all the recording, until one day we got tape recorders. And we would use our tape recorders and have them transcribed by one of our office girls. But we did just about everything. We had no help at all. And then Millie McDonald, who's now deceased for many years, started the CNA program. And that's when our wonderful, wonderful CNAs started to work with us, and it was such a great, great help. I happened to be in the first hospice training class that we had here in Newport. It was with Island Hospice until we received or developed our own program at the Visiting Nurses, our own hospice home care program. I often think of several of my patients that I took of, hospice patients, and I think of them with great love and devotion, especially Jack, who left a little 5-year-old boy behind, and Sissy, who left 2 boys under 11 years old. It was just incredible to be able to work with these people and assist them into their final life, final destination. At this time, I'd just like to mention a couple of my co-workers who have passed on, who I wish were here with me tonight. It was Peggy, Joan, Millie, Helen, Sheila, and Trish. Sheila and I were going to work the private duty section together. She was going to do 6 months in the summer, and I was going to do the 6 months in the winter. And this has been my last job at the Visiting Nurse as of this past January. It was a private duty section, and what we did was supervise the nurses' aides. But unfortunately, Sheila passed on, and we never did develop the program together. At this time, I would like to thank Jean especially for allowing me to work with her and help, in spite of all my knee problems, heart problems, gallbladder problems, you know, the usual as we go through life. She always gave me a position in the office. I did not have to go out into the field. Thank you, Jean, for doing that for me. And then I'd like to also tell you a little bit about one of my patients who I grew very, very close to, who was discharged from our service, but this is really special. Every Christmas Eve, Gordon and his wife would come and bring a great Christmas floral display, always Swedish bread, and some yummy chocolates. And to this day, Gordon passed on in 2006. But even today, every year, Robbie, his wife, comes Christmas Eve and does the same thing as she and Gordon used to do. It means so much to know that all these years I've worked with these people, grew to love them, took them into the next world with prayers and bedside, the love and devotion. It means so much. It means so much to me. So, I don't know what more I can say, except thank you all for being here, and hopefully we'll have another at least 5 years together. Thank you.